traffic out there. So I think drones will be next. People would really be delivering products by drones. So we're going to continue on with this understanding the e-commerce kind of world in Indonesia with another keynote from Nabila Aslagov, the COO of Doku, and she will be talking about understanding e-payments in Indonesia. So please give her a round of applause.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Let me get myself organized for a bit. Okay. Well, thank you for coming today. And for those who don't know me, my name is Nabila Al-Zagaf, as what you can see there. And Doku is a company that I co-founded in 2007 when online payment in Indonesia is still at its infancy. Last year, our company processed more than 5 trillion worth of payment value, and we serve more than 2,500 merchants from various industries today. Online shopping is set to continue its upwards trajectory in the years ahead as consumers trust in online spending and their familiarity with online spending improves, especially with the retail online retailers. Oops, sorry. This side? Okay. So today's agenda, I'm going to look at a few key points surrounding payments as money matters for businesses to succeed. And to begin, we will need to understand the payment culture here. Look at the challenges with online payments and see ways to overcome them and look at what is the way to the future. We know that in Indonesia, the internet is dominated by the younger generation. We all agree with that, right? But only less than 10% of these users have done an online transaction. 99% of the SMEs are actually representing businesses in Indonesia. Modern retailers have offered their services online. But however, online sales only represents about 0.7% to 1.2% of total retail sales. Shoppers are spending on, as you can see, fashion, travel, music, games, books, as Daniel has mentioned also just now. And typically, shoppers are searching for products that are not available in the malls. And they are searching for unique alternatives and cheap deals. These are still typical behaviors of our online shoppers. This chart shows that last year, we have 5.3 million people that are shopping online. And this year, we can expect the number to increase 7 million of shoppers shopping online. However, we do have payment challenges. As you can see in the chart, we have 5% of people paying through credit card. Credit card penetration is still very low. Majority of payments are being made through cash on delivery or bank transfers. So what we're seeing is there's a lot of offline activities when it comes to paying for online products. The other issues is related to delivery. We need to have more. We need to have more companies supporting the logistics for online shops. Now, coming back to why we have very low credit card penetration, we need to understand that only 20% of the population are bank users, meaning 33.7% adults are actually customers of the banks. And we are seeing smaller numbers of these people that are actually using online modes of payment when they shop online. If you can see, 7% are using internet banking. The numbers for credit card is more than that because this is past data. By and large, cash is still the way to commerce in Indonesia. The numbers have not changed today. Cash is still predominant in Indonesia. We've conducted a small survey. We do this on a yearly basis to understand what the market is doing. So for a lot of small businesses, the preferred platform to sell is actually through social media. And it is normal for their customer to actually shop online and pay offline. And when we ask if they have any problem with the current method, only 18.24% are admitting that self-managed payment is very costly for them. They are now thinking of stepping up and seriously reviewing their payment strategies to cope with their growing business. But the majority is still very comfortable with cash on delivery. There are various reasons actually supporting the decision of the majority, because for small businesses, for you to get a formal merchant account, if you want to get a credit card facility, you need to meet with certain requirements. And if you want to extend payments to other mode of payments, also you need to qualify certain criteria with the bank. But there are solutions to help you overcome these obstacles. So why online payment is a challenge? As I mentioned, cash remains a well-used payment channel, although the hidden costs and inaccuracies associated with it may be very shocking to most businesses. Limited payment access, because merchants are only giving a few payment options for the customer to pay. And the preference, as mentioned, is COD or bank transfers because it's cheaper for them. Lack of trust. Now, this is more from the consumer side. As we've heard earlier, customers are reluctant to share their financial information for fear of losing that information, or the merchant might abuse the information when they enter their credit card information or bank information. So the trust from the customer is still lacking. Hence, you see very few credit card users using their credit card as a mode of payment. Although they have credit card, they still prefer to use internet banking or go to the ATM and make payments. Fear of fraud. Now, this is more from the merchant side. As a seller, you have this stigma to think that fraud is going to hit you because you've got potential customers who might use a fraudulent credit card, and it might cause a lot of losses to your business. So this haunts you, and you then decided not to accept credit card to play it safe. So these are also issues for businesses to grow. For us, we see payment is very much driven by customers. And in order for you to reach to more market, you need to expand your payment reach. Here you can see that, as we mentioned, credit card penetration is still very low. Small numbers of bank users, and also internet banking. You will have same people having credit card and internet banking, but you should not limit to other payment options. You need to open or look at accepting payment through ATMs, it is different than transfer, because transfer, you're asking people to transfer to your personal account. When we say ATM payments or use a payment code, basically it is a more automated way. It helps you to reconcile your sales, you know, who has made payment to you. So it is not a, it's not a manual process. We are talking about an automated process here. And if you are reaching out to a different market segment, to the mass market, you know that these people will are not using any of the banking tools. So how else can you reach out to them? We've opened up convenience store. You've got a huge network of Alphamart, Indomart, 7-Eleven. These are very popular payment networks that you can leverage on to accept cash and for them to pay for your services. Last but not least, e-wallet is now becoming more popular. Central Bank has issued 18 wallet licenses. We are one of them. And e-wallet is appealing to the younger crowd. And this is what the internet is all about. It is about the younger crowd. They are more adaptable to new payment form. There's more flexibility in terms of using the wallet, better user experience. And we are talking about cash-funded wallet here. So in order for you to reach out to expand your business, you need to actually add as many payment forms as possible. As mentioned again, I have to repeat this, payment is very much driven by the customers. Now, we also talk about gaining the customer's confidence. Trust is a major issue with our consumers, and gaining it is crucial, especially at the checkout stage. And here, they need to be they need more reassurance than ever. For example, when they check out, when they make payment at your store, you need to show very clearly all the right payment logos. And you need to make sure that it is easy for the customer to reach out to you. You know, can they call you? What's your hotline number? Is there a chat line that you offer? Is it real time? So these are all very basic information, but very important for your customers. Return policies, especially for retailers. Return policy is so important to the customer, because when they buy something, especially for first-time buyer, they will take that small risk. They will buy and they will see whether they can get their goods. As Daniel had mentioned, once they gain the trust, then they can return to your shop and do more spending. So your return policy is very, very, very important, and it has to be clearly defined. The other thing is you need to display your items clearly. You know, pictures speaks very loudly to your customer. It sells well, so you need to describe it properly, exactly, so that they know what they're getting. And you have to make sure that you are working with a reputable logistics partner, because the logistic partner will ensure that the goods are delivered to the customer within the specified time that they are hoping to get their goods. Right. I want to show you some example of what I've just said. So when displaying logos, it should clearly show, you know, for credit card, you need to show that if you're accepting 3D Secure, it will indicate all the bank logos, all the scheme logos, all the security authentication. And then here's another example. If you are, if you want to show how customer can reach out to you. Your written policies is clearly defined. The payment method that is being accepted is clearly defined, because when they check out, you need to give them options, and they should be able to choose which is the payment option that they're comfortable with to make that first payment with you. Now, in terms of fraud, there are ways to manage fraud. If you use third-party service, usually we build in basic fraud screening tools, to help you mitigate some of the checkings. But you should actually pay attention to some of these notes. I will not go into detail because I'm running out of time. So please have a look at it. These are just good tips for you to understand how to mitigate and perhaps manage, because sometimes rules can be very tightly planted into the fraud screening. You can challenge it, you can still save your sales. So you need to apply some of these tips. Well, overall, what we're saying here is that payment is not complicated. Payment is actually very, very simple. And businesses should make payment as a positive enabler for your business, because it is not expensive. There are notions that payment and using third-party service is expensive. Overall, it could be a lot cheaper than what you're doing if you're managing your own payment. And if you add new payment forms, then you are actually expanding your customer base. You can reach out to those new customers that you've not imagined of attracting them. So this is the positive note on payment. And moving forward, we know that e-commerce is the way to go. And 6 years from now, you'll have more online buyers trading online. So it is time to really review at how you accept payment to help with your cash flow management for businesses. And last but not least, as I mentioned before, currently the way we do e-commerce is shop online, pay offline. But in the years to come, with better approach, better understanding, more trust from the customer, more confidence from the seller side, then our e-commerce process can be a real e-commerce process where the end-to-end process is all automated. There's online buying and online paying. Thank you very much. That's all I have for today. And enjoy the rest of the session here.